The tax policy piece of this specifically, last week Jeff Bezos was on CNBC and made a lot of news, basically said bottom 50% of Americans should not pay federal income tax. Government doesn't have a revenue problem, it has a spending problem. That he'd be potentially more open to paying taxes if it meant the money was actually going towards the greater good here. It kind of reminded me a little bit of some of the comments we've heard from you in the past, especially when I think about things like, earned income tax credit.
Yeah. So first, when I saw Jeff doing that, I'm saying, Jeff, God bless you, get involved in the debate. You may not agree with everything he's saying, but I like the fact he's saying stuff and he cares enough about our country to actually get on there, because a lot of people just simply don't do it or even think about it very much. And tax is very complicated, okay? So I generally agree, and if you look at the bottom, the 100,000, they don't pay that much anyway. So you got to be a little careful. They're all different types of taxes. You got your sales tax, and you got real estate taxes, and some drive bad behavior and all that, and it all should be kind of looked at. I like the earned income tax credit, which today as it stands, if you're a single parent making $14,000, the government gives you $7,000. At the end of the year, in a check. Some people are entitled to it, don't get it. If you have no children, they give you like $700. I would take that, the $14,000, I'd make it $12,000. I'd get rid of the child requirement. You're working, you'll go home with $26,000. If you're two parents, you have $52,000. And the reason I like it is because, first, I think it would pay for itself. We know one thing about jobs: they create dignity. That first rung in the ladder. When I hear people making fun of burger flippers. A lot of those burger flippers end up owning and running McDonald's. They are proud of what they accomplish. A lot of our forefathers came here, and that's what they did when they got here. But that first rung leads to a second rung. Jobs lead to, the money would go to the person, so it's not big government deciding whether you can buy potato chips and soda or not. They would spend it on their families and their homes. They spend it locally. It might foster local restaurants. They might buy more insurance or a tutor for the kids or something like that. And it would lift up those economies, but it also has the great virtue of bringing people into the workforce, making work pay more. And we know one thing about jobs: better social outcome, more household formation, less crime, less suicide, less recidivism. So if you actually did the full analysis, which is hard to do, and we really haven't, I guarantee you it would more than pay for itself. And that would cost like another $50 billion. If they did that, yeah, I think people would be willing to pay as long as it went to them. If it's going to go to Congress to decide who to give it to, no one's going to want to pay extra money in taxes.